What is going on, guys, and welcome to another episode of All Mouth Bassing. Today is a warm but slightly breezy late winter day, and my plan is to try getting after some trout probably. At least that's what I think is most likely to bite this bait. And what I'm gonna throw is this very interesting Ozark Trail Mini Minnow crankbait. I have never seen a bait quite like this. I think it's pretty much made to mimic like a tiny trout or maybe a tiny little like bluegill or something like that, just some kind of fry from one of those smaller panfish species. That's what it looks like. It's just got one tiny little hook. I don't even see a weight on it. I don't think it's got a weight listed, and it says it dives, let's see, I can't remember. It says it dives 4 to 12 inches, so it's a pretty shallow diving bait. And I don't know, I don't really know what to expect of it. I would think they probably haven't seen too many baits that look just like this because it is extremely unique. I haven't really seen anything too much like it in the past, but I only do have one of it. I only picked up one, so if I lose it, I do have a backup plan, but I'm really hoping I just don't end up losing it to a snag or like a big fish or anything. Hopefully I'm able to keep it on the line and we could get a decent video out of it. We'll see how it goes. Well, I'm out at the first spot now, and it took me quite a bit longer to get out here than I had kind of planned. So this might end up being a multiple day video, but I'm out here. I got the little Mini Minnow crankbait rigged up by Ozark Trail. Gonna go ahead, toss it around. I actually already tested out the action of it, and it's got a real subtle little wobble to it, almost like you'd expect from like a lipless crankbait. I got kind of high hopes. I'm gonna toss it out there and see if we could catch anything with it. Yeah, I actually really like that action. Oh, come on, let's go. All right, bud. All right, guys, that didn't take too crazy long. First catch, pretty little rainbow trout. It's trying really hard to put this hook in my hand, and it almost self-released. All right, we'll just let it go because it's really feisty. Pretty cool. Let's go. I went and grabbed my net just in case another one bites over here. That way I could handle it a little bit better if it does. But anyway, all right, guys. Didn't get skunked tonight, at least. That was actually not my first bite either. That was like my third bite before I hooked up with one. So only been fishing for like 10-15 minutes. Pretty decent first impression of this little thing. Let's get it back out there and see if we could get on another one or two with it. Oh, there's one. Of course, there's a piece of litter floating by while it bites, but it's the Arkansas River. Only so much you can do about that. This is a slightly better one, I think. Either that or it's just fighting like crazy. All right, we got it. Pretty cool. All right, it's a pretty little rainbow. Not a giant or anything, but fought like crazy. Let's let it go. It's all fired up. Going down instead of out. All right, there it goes. Cool. Well, I'm pretty happy with those two rainbow trout I caught here in this first spot, but I am getting a little bored with this first spot at this point, so I think I'm gonna move on to spot number 2 now. Well guys, the second spot ended up doing us a little bit dirty. Not even a single bite over here, unfortunately, but I'm really liking this little bait so far, so I think I'm gonna stick with it and I'm not gonna give up on it just yet. Well guys, it's actually the next day now and I'm out at another spot on the Arkansas River. I'm gonna get down here by this spillway and take a couple casts down here with that strange little Ozark Trail crankbait. We'll see if maybe we can catch some more trout out here. I've got a little over an hour to kill today, so hoping for at least a couple catches with the time I've got. Let's get down there and get after it. I know the audio quality is kind of gonna suck on this part of the video with that spillway rushing right there, but I don't think this is the only spot I'm gonna fish tonight anyway, so it shouldn't all be bad like that. But anyway, let's get this little bait out there and see what else we could do with it. I haven't fished this spot in quite a while, but I used to fish it pretty often and I used to have pretty good luck over here, so we'll see. Well, I just fished that spillway spot pretty hard and I didn't even get a single bite down there. So I decided to head over to a different spot and try my luck down here. I've actually caught some pretty nice brown trout and rainbow trout from this spot. I'd love to hook up with a brown with this thing, but I'd take a rainbow too. Let's get it out there and hopefully we have some better luck in this spot. Oh, I just missed something nice, guys. What a bummer. Let's try this. I doubt it's gonna bite again. Trout tend to get wary after they feel a hook. Man, I just missed something nice. There's one. Decent. Not huge or anything, but not bad. That's a little bigger than I thought, actually. There we go. Gave it a little drag to work with. It's actually a much bigger fish than I thought at first. It's not bad at all. Yes, got it. That is a beautiful fish, guys. Beautiful, beautiful. Looks like a cut bow. Real nice and beefy. That is awesome. All right, guys, I actually don't have my tape measure on me or anything, so I wasn't able to get a measurement on this fish. It's not a PB or anything anyway, but man, what a freaking beautiful cut bow trout. Awesome fish. Let's get it back in the water though. Taken right off. That was awesome. What a freaking beautiful fish. And on that weird little Walmart bait too. Hell yeah, guys. Well guys, the wind and rain actually picked up pretty heavy and it's starting to look like it might get pretty gnarly, so I'm thinking I'm actually gonna pack it up for now and call it a night. This is ridiculous. Man, last time I got caught out in the rain, it was about 60 degrees warmer. This is kind of brutal. Can't wait to get back to my car. Go figure, the rain's almost stopped now that I'm just about back to my car. Oh well, way she goes sometimes. Okay guys, it is another day later and it is right around sunset right now, so I don't have a ton of daylight to work with, but I am back out at the Arkansas River tonight with this weird little Walmart bait. I'm at a real noisy, real dirty spot on the river because it's right next to the highway, but I've had some pretty decent luck here in the past, so I actually see some decent trout swimming around out there right now. I'm gonna go ahead, toss this little Ozark Trail crankbait back out there and see what I could do with it. Pretty good. How you doing? Yeah.
I've been wanting to meet you. I thought that was you that walked past because I saw you using that green rub the other day.
Yeah, man. That's me.
I was going to ask, I didn't know if it was you for sure, but I was going to ask if you had any tips for catching trout.
That was pretty cool. Just met a real nice subscriber. I think he said his name was Brandon. Gave him a couple little tips. Hopefully I could help him get on some decent trout. Oh, there we go. Might not be much of a fight because it's pretty close to the bank. Oh, maybe not. Let's go. That's a nice brown trout too, guys. That is awesome. Beautiful fish. All right, guys, check that out. What a beautiful brown trout. That's actually kind of what I was hoping would happen out here. We just did a quick photo shoot, kept it nice and healthy. Let's get it back in the water. There it goes. What a gorgeous fish. That was awesome. Well, guys, I just kept after it for well over an hour longer than I had originally planned tonight. My rod guides are all froze up. It's getting real cold. It's getting pretty late, so I think I'm gonna call it a night. But to say I'm impressed with this little Ozark Trail Mini Minnow crankbait would be an absolute understatement. This little thing is freaking awesome for trout. I am crazy impressed with it. But anyway, I'm gonna wrap up this part of the video. I think I'm actually gonna do a little review on this little bait for you guys, and yeah, I'll see you during the review. Well, that was 3 days in a row fishing with this Ozark Trail Mini Minnow lure, and as you guys could see, this thing produced some pretty awesome results. I fished with it in varying conditions and I didn't get skunked once with it, so pretty impressed with it. And with that being said, I think I've seen enough of this lure to be able to pretty confidently give you guys a review on it. So if I had to put a number score on this little lure, I would say probably about an 8 out of 10. There's just a couple small things I would probably change on it if I could. Those things being, I would maybe increase the size of the bill just a tiny little bit to give it a little bit more side-to-side action. I actually did like the subtlety of it. That was one of the things I liked about it, but it was almost a little bit too subtle. I think if they made this lip just a tiny bit wider, it would kick just a little bit more and produce a bit more of a reaction strike. Aside from that, the only other small thing I'd change is maybe the hook placement. I'd maybe put 2 small hooks on either end instead of 1 big one in the middle like this, but I kind of understand where they were coming from. A lot of times on these smaller baits, if there are 2 hooks, you have the problem of the 2 hooks getting hung up on each other, and that is really annoying. So I understand the 1 hook design, but sometimes with the 2 hooks you get a little better hookup ratio, so that's where I'm coming from with that. But aside from that, I thought this thing was amazing, had pretty good little action to it. Like I said, real subtle, but had a nice little side-to-side wiggle. Looked quite a bit like a bait fish. Obviously the profile of it is awesome. It looks almost exactly like the kinds of bait fish it's trying to mimic. And I mean, yeah, the action was good enough hookup ratio with it, and yeah, good enough design, good enough colors. I really liked everything about it aside from those two small things I said I'd change. So solid 8 out of 10 for this bait. I would pay $2 for this all day. So super happy with it. I'm gonna continue fishing with it, honestly, even though it's a little budget bait. I might change out the hooks for something maybe a little bit better, but probably not even, because they're really not that bad. They didn't bend or anything, and they were sticky enough. They hooked up with most of the fish that bit. So yeah, that's about all I got to say about it, guys. I was happy with it. So thanks for sticking around, guys. If you're thinking about buying anything from Waterland, go ahead and use my code ALLMOUTH at checkout and you'll get 15% off your entire order. I think that's about all I got to say though. So thanks again for watching. I'll see you on the next one, and I'll see you on the water.